Welcome back. We're going to pick up from where we left off the last time. Now, let's look at the attitude of mental toughness. And that brings me to the National Football League, the NFL, and its coaches and players. And for those who know little about the American football, the NFL is a professional American football organization that is made up of 32 teams, divided equally between the National Football Conference, the NFC, and the American Football Conference, the AFC. For those of you with little desire to know about the NFL, be rest assured that I will not disappoint. This section of the chapter on attitude is not about sports. Rather, and again, it's not about the way the game is played. Rather, it's about successful sports principles and how applicable they are to other areas of our lives. That's what this section is all about. So now, let me start with perhaps someone who has made the most impact on the sport of football in America, Vince Lombardi. A little about the legendary man himself, Coach Lombardi. Coach Lombardi was born in Brooklyn, in New York. It's been said that no coach in the National Football League's history ever achieved more success in less time than Lombardi did during his 9 seasons in Green Bay. He won 5 NFL championships, including the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 1 and 2, and compiled remarkable regular season records. Coach Lombardi had an uncanny ability to inspire people to greatness on and off the football field. He displayed leadership qualities that were second to none. For these and many other reasons, I feel privileged to be able to draw from Coach Lombardi's leadership qualities to explain the attitudes that bring about success in one's life. In one of his many corporate speeches, legendary Coach Lombardi once shared with his audience that, and again I quote, "Running a football team is no different from running any other kind of organization, an army, a political party, a business. The principles are the same. The object is to win, to beat the other guy." Maybe that sounds hard or cruel. I don't think it is, he said. On developing an attitude of mental toughness, Coach Lombardi talked about the fact that big goals are not easily achieved. They challenge us. They torment us. And many times cause us internal strife, which tempts us to quit the journey and perhaps the enterprise altogether. To pass through difficult times, Lombardi suggests that we must develop an attitude of mental toughness, and that is the ability to hold on to one's goal in the face of the pressure and stress. He continued that it is the glue, referring to one's mental attitude, that it is the glue that holds the team together when the heat is on. And it helps that team preserve, okay. Back up a little bit. Okay. He continues that it is the glue, and again referring to one's mental attitude, that holds the team together when the heat is on. And it helps that team perseveres just a little bit longer, which in many cases is just enough to outlast the opposition. What in essence Lombardi is saying is that we should not easily give up when we are challenged in the pursuit of our aspirations, particularly if they're important. We can't just walk away. That's not the way life is. We have to keep the pressure and to keep working at it. We must be disciplined and resolute about the goals we set. You can't just keep setting goals and walk away. That's not the way life is. In the end, this is how we prevail. For example, Roger Federer, perhaps the greatest tennis player in history, who at the time of writing this book had won 20 Grand Slam men's singles titles, lost in the very first round of Wimbledon in his first 3 years of playing. He did not quit or give up the sport. Even though he set his sights high on achieving the ultimate prize in tennis, Federer had to regroup mentally. He had to work patiently and confidently to ensure subsequent successes on the court. He practiced harder and for longer hours. Federer watched past performances of his opponents. He also worked diligently with his coach to increase his mental resilience. In the end, within the same period, Federer won 7 Wimbledon titles. The point is, it is not that people who have an attitude of mental toughness do not suffer occasional setbacks and failures, but that they just do not easily give up. They realize that mental toughness is not hereditary. It is acquired through positive self-talk and working with one's mind. Therefore, to people like Federer, it is about the mental attitude required for a great comeback. And as for Lombardi, the student, he was an average football player at Fordham compared to some of the more talented players. It's been said that he played none the less because of his pure determination. He once played an entire game with a cut inside his mouth that after the game required 30 stitches to repair. This was a true endogenous attribute that would later propel Lombardi to a higher and more fruitful career in Green Bay. Now, let's look at the attitude of belief. Again, in my research, I came up with 9 strategies in which you can develop your mental attitude. And this is the second one, attitude of belief. Now, I'm going to give you 3, but here's the second one. And as I mentioned in the first chapter of this book, and if obviously you don't have the book yet, but you can go to YouTube, go to my channel, and review and watch that video on belief, and again, that would help you. But again, as I mentioned in that first chapter, belief is everything. That's where everything starts. Belief is what makes dreams come true. And for that reason, you must develop an attitude of belief. If you wish to change your career, evaluate the situation carefully. Be sure you're making a decision you can live with in the end. But when it's all said and done, you have to believe in your ability to carry out the decision you have reached successfully. You cannot let fear get in the way. You cannot let fear paralyze you from doing something you truly want to do. Will there be obstacles along the way? Absolutely. Will there be financial difficulties? More than likely, yes. Will you encounter bureaucratic red tape as you interact with the system? I can almost assure you that would happen. So the issue is not whether you will encounter problems or setbacks along the way to achieving your goals. The solution comes in how you respond to the challenges you encounter. My suggestion, make every effort to understand the issues that are getting in the way of you achieving your goal. Once the obstacles are clearly delineated, once you've really understood those, what the obstacles are in your mind, you must move swiftly without hesitation and with a strong sense of belief toward reaching that goal. In the end, it is the attitude of belief, strong belief in the attainment of your pursuits that gives you the energy needed to overcome the obstacles that are getting in your way. And as Napoleon Hill will put it, it's all in your mind. However, and I quote, what you can conceive and believe, yes, you can achieve. The bottom line is, you need to remain resolute about whatever it is that you'd want to be or do in life. I truly believe in your ability to achieve. I truly do. But you must believe first as well. You must initiate the belief. You've got to have it from within your subconscious. Okay, folks, why don't we stop here? And I think this is a great place to stop. And we'll pick back up from where we leave off the next time. Until then, I'll see you again.